Gretty wants to bone that teacher
Absolutely.
hard. She's in the bathroom naked, and the teacher's like, good job trying to seduce me.
Well, he first goes, beautiful. Oh,
And
good
she's
job.
like,
Yeah, good job trying to seduce me.
She's like, I'm not trying to seduce you. Oh,
Or-
sorry.
Yeah,
Close this
leave.
door on there.
Now she's trying to, like, bone him.
I'm not trying to seduce you, but since you mentioned it, I mean, I could essentially.
Yeah.
Cross-examine. We're back. I'm Matt. That's Justus. We're getting right into our B list this week, which is Tomo, the Magical Revolution, the Reincarnated Princess, and the Genius Young Lady, Spy Classroom, in Spectre Season 2, and then Attack on Titan, the final season, Part 3, Part 2, and NieR Automata version 1.1a doesn't run on Linux.
It's back.
It's back, kind of. We'll find out in near time. But hey, Tomo-chan. Yo, you think June wants that Tomosi?
You stop it right
Starting
now.
out strong. Dude, we spent a whole episode of him being like, I never recognized her as a girl. Oh, she's a girl. Now I'm in love. I'm not going to talk to her for a year.
Yeah.
And then, like, pity asks out Mizui. And it's like, come on, dude. It's like,
it's funny. Especially
you
at
heard
the
her
end
side.
where it's like, oh wait, she is kind of cute. The ending, they switched to him singing it as well.
yeah, all the boys sang the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And it was slightly different than what it was before. So I don't know if
that
it's
threw me
just a
off.
new ending theme or what it's going to be, because we watched 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a one-off special episode on there, kind of like what they did for Bisco, where they just sang it when they're missing someone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think this was some of the best episodes out there on there.
I still strongly have the opinion that Carol and Misuzu are the best characters in the show.
Debatable.
No, like
You just like
no
bland.
cap.
You just like bland. Did you just say no cap?
No cap.
You're too old to be saying no cap. No cap, my fellow teenagers. Old skateboard.
Look, that was a thing back when we were there.
No cap.
I was there when the scripture was invented. Goddamn.
Scripter? Okay, Moses. Jesus over there like, yo, let me get crucified. No cap.
But like, they are just the best part of this show. Those two right there. What they're doing in the background is so much more intriguing
They are
than
the
Tomo and June.
They are the relief for the love story of it. Because we have 4 different stories going on at the same time. So you have June and Tomo, which is one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Tomo, Mizui, and Carol as another. Then you have Carol and Misaki as another. And now you're starting to see maybe some Mizui and Tanabe.
Oh, the red-haired boy.
Yeah, the one that's like really into her and is like, yo, look at me. He's looking at you, Mizui. Probably wants me to watch him run. He's like, yeah, look at me, look at me.
The episode where...
What's a Mizuzi?
Shut up.
Which episode are you talking?
Carol.
Carol
and-
cries because Misaki.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, she's the best
Listen,
girl. She's the best girl of this entire show.
You just like ditzy girls that don't know any better.
No.
That is exactly your type on
No,
there.
come on now. She was on top of June and goes, rawr.
Dude, that was one of my notes on there. It's like, Carol, what are you doing? Rawr. Like, all the comments are like, God, I wish that was me. Or there was a meme going around the Facebook group for Tomo-chan. It's like, it should have been me.
She's a great character because she's much smarter than like
She
people
got first
give her.
place
Yeah.
in their grade.
Like even beyond like actual academic smart, the realization of what's going on in a lot of situations, she's right up there with Misuzu that understands everything that's going on. And even sometimes when Misuzu's missing something, she's over there like, yeah,
Listen, I'm just saying they're doing like weekly polls on who the best female character is, and Tomo's up there almost every week. So I'm sorry they like some mid-tier characters, Justice.
On my anime.
Justice said earlier at lunch that Attack on Titan was mid. Goes to my animus, I'm like, go look it up. He goes to look it up. Doesn't say a word after that
I
because
never looked it up.
It's number 1 by a lot.
I never looked it up.
bullshit.
No, I legitimately never looked it up. I was looking
Your
at my
Honor,
credit score.
I would like to present.
I was being an adult and looked at my credit score.
Also, where were they doing the marathon? Like there was the last episode 10, they had the school marathon. I feel like there were a couple shows this week that did school, so I'm like, time for the school marathon.
2 episodes out. It shouldn't be considered number 1.
I mean, it was an hour for the first episode,
Doesn't matter.
Justice. It was amazing. Listen, we'll talk about it later on there. No, but they did the school marathon. I feel like we've had
one appalling.
No, that's cheating. You haven't seen it. Don't do that. He's manipulating the score. It's California.
They're manipulating the score.
1999
people
California
over
all
there
over
jerking
again.
each other off.
I'm sorry, that's a good show.
Just like rumbling.
Just like food basket, the best things in sliced bread on there, and he fought to the death, and it's not. Look where it sits now.
I mean, look, even Bleach got dethroned, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. No, besides that, back to the show. Back to the show, Justice. Come back. Don't come on her back, but come back. Listen, I love that we still get the side characters, those 2 like valley kind of girls. It's like, oh, why are we gonna run a marathon? Tomo is going Tomo was beating June in the marathon run, even after running for like 6 hours a night before. She's like, I passed out and somehow woke up naked. It's like, Tomo, you passed out on the bathroom floor on there. Luckily, Showerhead Kun was there to help block some of the shots on there. It's like, oh, so you're beating June in this marathon after already like running that much. But that's not even the most important part of these episodes, Justice.
2 characters naked, by the way. Not just this show, but we see another character like butt ass naked later as well. It was a weird.
You should have seen Attack on Titan. There was another one.
Oh, well,
It was a week to be naked. Takes towel.
Yeah.
No, but the most important part of the entire series so far, because we're on episode 10, so we get what?
Was
2
Carol
more?
crying?
No, it was.
She
mean,
looked so pure.
I mean, that was part of the episode of like, Misaki wanted to see Carol on the stage of weakness because she's always been like strong. Yeah. Makes her cry. She starts hitting him with the pillow. It's like, oh, I feel kind of bad for her. No, Tomo gave back the DS.
Oh, yeah.
Because now June is stronger than him. And it's like, oh my God. Finally gave it back after all these years of playing it and holding on to that.
Yeah, and then the next day it ended with, she's kind of cute.
Yeah, and she comes and come on, June Kun. It's like, never noticed how cute she is. Like, June just. Also, her dad is faster than a car. Sorry, this is going all over the place. It's like Tomo's mom is there. I'm like, yo, MILF in the front? Sheesh.
They did a weird thing. I don't know if you caught it, but she was sitting in the front seat, and then they cut into the car, and she's sitting next to her.
Yeah, well, it was like a weird perspective. Like, they tried to fix it, but it still looks like she was sitting. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Also, that taxi had like a Star of David on the top. It was super weird. But then her dad comes running out with like leeks or whatever.
Yeah, green onions.
I don't know what that is. Is that supposed to be good for you for recovery or something?
Yeah, I think so.
But her dad's like, Tomo. June's like, and his dad walks up. Where'd they go? They went in the car that way. And he just speeds away. And I'm like, damn.
He gets the like sound barrier wind blast.
Yeah.
It's like, that boy
breaks the sound barrier. Gets a sonic boom. That's what we'd call it.
Wild.
He's going Mach 1. That's pretty fast. Also, Tomo's dad, pick me up. Take me.
Fold me like a pretzel, daddy.
He could, dude. Have you seen him? His muscles are bigger than their body on there. No, besides that, sorry. No, Carol crying was pretty. That was like a whole episode. Because that's the raw episode where she's trying to make. Well, June is with Tomo, but Carol's jealous of Misaki because Misaki looks up to Tomo, but he wants to be strong like Tomo for Carol. And Carol takes that as pure jealousy, which is why she kind of tried to get.
No, because even in her case, it's one of those like, yes, she kind of made a move. It wasn't quite. It was part of it to be about jealousy, but the other thing is like, June, stop being an idiot. Like, clearly, which is why he immediately ran over to Tomo afterwards.
Listen, I love Tomo, but that RAR got me, buddy. I'm over there like, sure.
Well, it looks like you're into ditty rules.
No, there's a difference between hit it and quit it and marriage.
Okay.
I know where my heart stays. Where's the Soviet Union? Right here.
Okay.
Now, I like how you get a lot of the characters in the show. Like, you get a lot of, like, you get to see a little bit of everybody. It's just not one character all the time.
Yeah, and they are doing a good job of showing motivation behind specific characters.
Yeah, they just don't kind of throw them out. It's like, oh, they did this because they did it.
Yeah, they all have a motivation behind specific stuff. Though I'm gonna be honest, this show really does like to every couple of episodes be like, maybe we'll just make things seem a little rapey.
Oh, well, I mean, it was maybe not really rapey, just molesty.
Oh, that. Sorry.
2 different
That's
charges
better.
in the United States.
And
Also, I have a question for you before we have to move on soon. Just try to keep pacing him. Is Carol a furry? She came to school in that bunny costume unprovoked and then kissed Mizui. So she's kissed almost everybody at this point.
well, she was
She's a
doing
whore.
it to just mess with her, which is look. Carol's a good character when you have the one character that like feels like they can't be messed with. Goes, I'm afraid of her.
The good thing with the show is you get Carol, which is supposed to be the ditzy girl that helps bring stuff together. Mizui sets everything in motion, and Tomo's just like, I don't know what's going on, but I like having fun. Because you get that emotional thing of like, I don't know if I can be your friend anymore, Tomo. And she's like, why not? It's like, oh, she really cares.
We also missed a festival thing with fireworks and
yeah, I guess we'll talk about that real quick.
There was a whole like joke.
June was gonna kiss her and then didn't.
There was also a whole joke of like the shop dudes where they see her. It's like, oh, she turned out to be beautiful. Also, hey, everyone, they're back. They're gonna clear everything out.
She's known as, I wrote it down,
like the demon something.
Yeah, I wish I could find it. I had it written down. Also, you forgot one important thing too. Mizui, Carol has a nickname. Mizui gave to her. Squishy bitch.
Yeah. They say that a lot.
Dude, that one episode, I think I wrote it down at least 4 times on there. Yeah, but apparently Tomo's just good at the festival things. And I mean, she was in her kimono and June's like, oh, shit.
Calm. Yeah.
I'm Team Tomo all the way. Can't change my mind, Justice. Change is on its way.
Carol Misuzu. Woo!
You can't pick 2.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you're going to pick 2.
Clip it and chip it.
Clip it and what?
Clip it and chip it.
Oh, I forgot that June came over to save her again when those guys were like attacking her. Like, oh, you're kind of cute, June. And I wrote a note here. I don't even remember that because it is June came to save her. Sub note, just smash already.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. Should probably move on.
Yeah.
The magical revolution of the ring.
No, I mean,
I'm not giving you a chance.
Tomo was very magical this week. Hey, magical revolution.
So
yo, her brother is fucking banished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking idiot.
Quick summary. Al took Lainey's crystal from her. Listen, first of all, how is she alive? She's a vampire with a lot of blood loss. Her whole chest is ripped open from this giant. He's holding a stone like this. Puts it in himself. So that's a lot of like, he must have stabbed, put in, whatever.
Yeah, he's permanently a vampire.
Yeah, he's permanently a vampire now because he has that stone. And Lainey's over there just dying, right? And the maid's like, I got her. It's like, bitch, you got shot in the arm. Like, step your game up. Protect her. I mean, to be fair, the maid was kind of cool. She was like, I know this mansion with my eyes closed. Then they get sniped at, and it's like, oh, we gotta go outside.
Yeah. Also, maid girl kissed Lainey. Woo!
Let's be honest here.
It was to feed blood to her.
Well, yeah, she bit her lip to then, yeah. Which I feel like there were other ways you could have done that. But the thing is, so Carol, speaking of Carols again, this is the maid on there. At least Carol is like a very good maid, and she knows to sacrifice herself and keep her blood pure.
Coral,
sorry. Coral.
The A and the O are swapped in.
Sorry, I looked down real quick to look up to make eye contact. My bad. Coral over there. God. So she's keeping the blood pure, which then led into like future episodes about blood purity. But like, Annis.
Yes.
She fought her brother and won. It was a really cool fight. I just felt like it ended a little too abruptly because she was literally about to kill her brother in that fight because it's kind of like
Yuffie stopped it.
Yeah, Yuffie stopped kind of the whole fight thing. He kind of came to his senses in a way.
Yeah, because the biggest problem has always been he feels inferior, so like he became a monster essentially to beat that inferiority kind of complex and it didn't work.
The thing I hated was the fight was cool. let the fight go on because he technically got beat. He's laying on the ground, does the whole crying thing, which was actually some really good voice acting, like doing the whole like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it was like, oh, cool fight. How do we keep this up? Here's a long, like 10-minute backstory of like why I feel this way, and I felt like it could have been like maybe a little bit later or a scene or two later. Bless you. That's not even the biggest thing. So now he's banished. Yeah. He admitted to his crimes, put up no fight against it. Their mother was crying.
Also, the other two fucking ginger accomplished shit.
They were executed.
Were they executed?
Yeah, he said the main people were put to death and the rest were given severe punishments on there. Good. So the shithead you see during the party, I could pull up his name in a sec unless you want to pull it up. So they're at the party. They're trying to pin Ines.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make her look like the bad guy, like she's holding on to him. Luckily, Tilty is there, and she's like, nah, I'm going to use my magic powers and stop everybody from moving on there.
It was Moritz and Chartuse?
Whatever the names are. Those two guys are now dead and put away.
Fuck 'em.
No, but the cool part was you kind of see Tilty's real power because you've never seen anything that she's done till really now.
Yeah.
I mean, she gave her a tattoo, and that's about it on there. She's a good tattoo artist.
Hell yeah. Booking my appointment.
Over there, full back tattoo. She lets Ines go and like save the day, whatever. Which there's the cool thing of like she developed an alarm for like the mansion, so if something happens, they can hear it. Then
and then of course the Moritz dude is like, oh, we
can't leave till we know what it is.
Yeah, and even the big thing for me is at some point she is the princess of the entire kingdom, and
now queen, future queen.
Well, yes, but even in that situation, an individual that's like trying to tell guards to like stop her or like attack her or anything else, it's like that literally wouldn't fly. Well, she has control.
Remember, she gave up her thing to the throne, so she's just a noble.
She is still the princess who will not take over the throne.
Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of weird. It's like stop her. It's like, oh yeah, she can do whatever she wants, right? Yeah. But to be fair, they do constantly mention like no one really cares for her, no one trusts her. So, but you do get to see in the last episode,
she's very skilled with a sword. No one there can stop her. Hey, we're at this thing because you slayed a dragon that no one's really done before, like in the last 20, 30 years, probably.
Listen, if a donkey can slay a dragon, anybody can slay a dragon.
That's a different kind of slay.
Sure.
But, like, you helped slay a dragon. No one else around here has done that. So anyways, guards, go get her. It's like, what the fuck are they going to do?
Listen, there's some guys that think they're tougher than anything. I talk, I could have beat a dragon, but, if it wasn't for my bum knee, I could back in my day. No, I mean...
back when I was on the varsity team.
Yeah, I did varsity Spartan, Were you ever varsity?
No. It was JV. That was wrestling, though.
Yeah, besides that. But then, like... I don't know, I feel like we're getting 2 boring episodes to get some good episodes. Because the whole last episode that we watched, episode 10, was her going like...
It was
it was like, oh, now you got to take over the throne and all that stuff. Because her brother, was disinherited, sent to the furthest realm of the kingdom to like work his days
like
away.
Borderlands or Badlands or some shit.
East side. But he did apologize to Yuffie and Lainey. We did apologize to 2 girls. You got a little background. They do. I love how Lainey's like, you hurt me a lot, but I still love you. And it's like, he ripped out your heart. Literally, woman.
Yeah. Yuffie is like, fucking smacks him. And she's like, I thought about using my fist, but I restrained myself. And it's like, use your fist.
I feel like he's, wait, how many episodes is this supposed to be?
13 or 12? 12.
I feel like definitely second season will happen in this. Mm-hmm. And he will come back as like a character to help.
Possibly. The most important thing, and you can stop saying that it's not like a thing. Yuffie says that she loves her so...
As friends?
No.
Did they bang? No. Did they kiss? No.
They have been sleeping in the same bed together.
That doesn't mean anything. When you were a baby and your parents slept in bed with you, what does that mean, huh?
Well, these are adults.
Your Honor, they're not adults. They're still children. Your Honor, I would like to present the evidence of Exhibit A. They did not make love. They're not in love. Do you think you...
Doubt.
Well,
She's literally creating her own harem of women.
Hey, man. More power to you.
Hey. Not gay, though.
Wait, so the guy has a whole bunch of guys help him out. That's not a harem. But if a girl does, it's a harem. Seems kind of sexist, Justice. Maybe she just likes having some of the girlfriends around to help run the city.
I can't trust them.
It's like I mean, listen, I don't agree with that statement. Minus Lainey. Yeah, she's a hoe.
Yeah. She couldn't help it, though. She didn't realize she was a vampire.
That just sounds bad.
I'm sorry.
You
I
should have
like
seen
hoe.
Should have seen what you was wearing.
Also, there at one point was kind of a throwaway comment from Grant, the prime minister, like Magenta's dad.
Yeah.
Or Yuffie's dad, where he was like, I once like had an option, but we chose like a different route. Where it's like talking about him and the king.
Too.
Even the comments were like, so wait, were they also kind of gay? But like,
why do you guys always like two people show a small interest in each other? You guys are like, oh my god, they want to bang each other. Maybe they're just good friends.
No, literally one of the genres is girls love, which is lesbian.
And they just love each other as buddies.
You shut up.
Listen, if they don't bang, it's gonna be the same thing like Horus Recoil. Did they bang? No.
Not yet. Yeah. Let's see. Genre. Girls
no one's
love
banging
same-sex romantic relationships between women that are focused on these stories.
That's what you think? We've seen no penetration. There's no penetration, so it doesn't count.
Genre title for this show.
By Japanese law, there's no penetration, so it doesn't count.
I mean, there's never penetration.
Well, then, okay, besides that. So basically, long story short, to the end of these couple episodes, we're now left on kind of like a new tiny story arc.
Yeah.
Of like, Yuffie has a chance to become... She has a chance to basically...
And take over the throne.
Yeah, take over the throne, which I feel like she'll try.
Beast tamer.
Yeah. Annis is probably going to be very mad that Yuffie's trying to do that.
But if they get married and they both are queens and they love each other very much and just adopt some random
You know what I feel
boy,
like is going to happen? She's going to keep pursuing Queen. Both of them are. Mm-hmm. The king's going to die and the queen's going to like die as well. There'll probably be some tragic accident. She'll become the ruling queen with no king. She'll re-inherit Al and then she'll just make Al the new king. I feel like that's the easy cop-out, so everyone's happy, everything works out, because it makes sense. Because a king can re-inherit, promote him to the throne.
Yeah, who knows? I just think knows. At the very end of it, it's just going to be Yuffie and
power move. Carl.
Those two are going to be queen and queen ruling the country.
That'd be tilted.
Absolutely boning all over the place. Showing them what their new spears can do.
See, Justin just wants people to bang. Over here, like, logically speaking.
Logically speaking, this is the outcome.
It's a good thing you're not an inspector. Oh, speaking of
Spy Family. Or not Spy Family.
Spy Family?
Spy Classroom next.
Spy Family? At least I was on the same continent when this happened on there.
They both have spy in
So
it.
This week, Anya and the family... There's supposed to be an OVA coming out for that, honestly, on there. Sorry, I forgot to have it up on there. Yeah. So, speaking of people being spies in the kingdom, Spy Classroom. Oh, yeah.
Hey, we get...
Gretty wants to bone that teacher
absolutely
hard. She's in the bathroom naked, and the teacher's like, good job trying to seduce me.
Well, he first goes, beautiful.
She's like,
yeah, good job trying to seduce me.
She's like, I'm not trying to seduce you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
close this door on there.
Now she's trying to, like, bone him.
I'm not trying to seduce you, but since you mentioned it, I mean, I could, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, she's wanted to bone him from day number one on there.
Yeah, even at one point, he's like, I want you to, like, help me work on the next mission. And she's like, is that a proposal?
He's like, I'm going to not answer that. You're just very hands-off. Well, they even mentioned he's not even that much older than him, even though he's drawn significantly older.
Yeah, she's 18. And he's 20, which is why they showed her bare ass.
My man.
Yeah. That was
it's a
that was the
human
like
ass.
#1 stitch for the Reddit anime like episode stuff.
guys are
where it's like,
You guys are degenerates. There's only 2
It's-
episodes for this week, by the way, too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they delayed an episode for whatever reason. It was
They also finally caught him again off guard because he's been overworking himself so much. And he even says, like, you guys aren't ready? You would have died on this mission I just did.
yeah.
And it's like, but they didn't die in the impossible mission, just saying.
Yeah, he's what was it? 463 days.
460.
straight.
They're like, when's the last time you took a break? 465 days. Just straight face, like, man,
It's
this
like,
dude needs a
damn, boy.
vacation. And he's
Yeah.
working like doubles. And because he even mentioned he's doing his work, writing reports, and then teaching them. So luckily, Greta and some other girls are trying to help out with teaching and pre-writing his reports. So she's been following him, which is why he slipped so much. And they realized
Yeah.
that author's like, how long did he come with a plan? She goes through the whole thing. I had 2
2
seconds. He's like, maybe you are ready. And I'm over there like, hey, it only takes 1 second right now, baby.
The
Get it, Claus. Get it.
he could take a night off.
Santa's not the only thing coming tonight.
Oh, calm. The
Also, Lily's still dumb as fuck.
yeah, but that's what makes her great. Also, even at that point where it's like you set up this entire plan in 2 seconds, which was very elaborate, like faking disguises and like all of that in 2 seconds. It's like, so why is Lily still the captain of the everything?
I think it's because she can bring people together still.
Yeah. You just assume Greta would probably
Listen,
be
go
good
in the
at it.
army, ask any first lieutenant, so what makes you smart? And you're like, well, I went to college. It's like, and you're a good tactician? I know nothing about tactics.
Mm.
No, I mean, you really didn't see any of the girls this week, minus Lily, Greta.
Greta.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's about it. All the kind of girls
Sarah.
did stuff together. But we do have our next villain for the kind of
Corpse.
corpse. So
Fucking
he's
corpse husband.
so Claus is charged with trying to find corpse, which has killed like a dozen or so spies in country, and they have to kill him. It's only 12 episodes. We're on episode, what was this? 9. So we have 3 episodes to find this guy, kill the guy.
And then not have another season of this show.
Yeah. Unless they're going to like, the ending of this season is like finally tracking him down. Someone gets hurt. I'm guessing maybe one of these girls are getting killed this season. I feel like it might be Annette because they've showed her so little this season on there.
I don't think any of them are going to die.
What if it's Claus? What if Claus gets whacked?
Poor Greta.
No, he'll bone Greta then die, protecting her. Calling it. That's my prediction.
Lily convinces Greta to use some poison like your boy from...
I'm just going to click away from that on there. Gonna nope to that entire conversation.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Overall, the show's fine.
Yeah, there's not much else to go on about it. Because there's only 2 episodes, not much
Fat
happened.
old dude can't taste anything, is night blind, shooting a gun at a tree. And
Yeah, you just don't do that.
was driving.
You're an American, buddy. Did you prepare?
Also,
Sounds like what?
What's her name? Sylvia?
I just clicked off of it. So I couldn't tell.
She's... the old dude is actually the reason why she basically became a spy, because the orphanage that she went to, he helped run. That was one thing you learned. But that was kind of it.
Yeah, maybe they should investigate more. Hey, speaking of investigating inspectors,
Yo, so we found out what was up with the Pinocchio boy.
Hey, did that woman smash yet though?
No, which one?
The one that got hit by the truck.
No, we haven't seen her since then.
Wow, hope she's okay. She's immortal, so I guess she's okay.
Yeah, she's always okay.
Sexually not, but
basically it was like the old man, the entire goal was to have the townspeople kill the puppet because there was names carved on the puppet, and if the puppet died, then those people would die, which were supposed to be the ones that killed his grandson. Basically, the guy was a real big coward and went through all this effort to make someone else do his deed for him. That's kind of how that ended. Now we're on a new story, which is hey, I'm a president of a hotel company chain that there are 200 hotels across the world that I
Man,
run.
this just seems like a regular Japanese thing of like, how rich is he? I just own hotels. Oh, yeah.
How many? 200. Lots. So
Pretty sure that was like a couple of cuckoos, right? Or cuckoos?
that was the
That's
dad.
a hotel.
Mogul.
Yeah. But continue,
But,
sorry. It's such a cop-out. Make him like
yeah.
a Bitcoin billionaire.
So that old dude reaches out to Kodako, and it was basically like 23 years ago, I killed my wife. No one believes it's me.
Why
And
is he
then-
telling people this?
Well, he's just telling her. And
Why would you admit?
because he used a fox spirit to kill his wife. So there was nothing ever leading back to him.
Gone.
Oh, not quite like that. But
That's a good Chainsaw Man reference.
he
Like, did they show
Goes-
her getting murdered
yes.
in the show? Like, how big was? Like, I'm trying to visualize this in my head. Was it just like a random,
The
like,
fox spirit took over a human body, stabbed him, and then ran away.
Oh, so he technically didn't kill him.
Well,
Some random dude killed him. I mean, if the glove don't
Specifically-
fit, he must have quit.
no, because in this case, it was his wife was the original president of the company. She was going a little too far. They already had 3 kids. The 3 kids wanted to do specific stuff with their lives. The daughter wanted to marry this dude and start their own business. The mom wasn't allowing that. The oldest brother wanted to leave the company and not be on the chair and run his own restaurant. And then the youngest son wanted to be on the board.
I don't want to
and
be
actually,
a billionaire out front of a restaurant.
some people just have passions that they want to do, and if they're already set by the time that they're
Oh.
30, it doesn't matter.
Be on the board, work for a couple of years, open your restaurant when you have your billions of dollars.
But the mom wouldn't let him even go to training to be the chef. Like, it's no, you're going to spend the rest of your life being a board member at our company.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just be a board member for 2 years and be like, you know what? I resign. Take your money. Go open your restaurant. How old is he? He's like I assume like 18, something like that.
No, it was like 22.
Okay, so he's got
22,
plenty of
23.
time.
And but the big thing is the youngest brother wanted to be in the oldest brother's position. So the mom was like, no, you just, fuck off, essentially.
It sounds like the mom's a real piece of shit.
She is a
And
real
she
piece of
should
shit.
have been killed.
She definitely deserved to die to a certain degree, because it turns out in the midst of all of this,
Does she have a Karen haircut? Let me look up a picture.
kind of. Kodoko's entire thing is all of his children have to come together and figure out a logical explanation of how he killed his wife, their mother.
She tripped and fell down the stairs.
Well, she was leaving a massage parlor and was stabbed to death in the middle of the road and money taken.
Which one is she supposed to be in this?
Uh,
I'm trying to look at a picture of her to see if she looks like a bitch.
she'd be one of the like new ones. I don't know.
Oh, they'll just be in support. Never mind. Continue with your story.
Yeah. But
Yo, she shot herself twice in the back of the head and threw away the gun.
she was stabbed to death.
She stabbed herself twice in the back and threw away the knife.
Yeah, twice. So that's the entire premise, because he wants to repent, but no one's gonna believe if he goes, yeah, I used a fox spirit to help kill your mother. He's basically giving them the decision of create a logical explanation of how I killed your mother. If you do, and the one who gets the most like logical one will have top priority of my inheritance when I die. So there's like billions at stake.
Give this random dude that they know killed him like $200,000. Be like, listen, he paid this guy $200,000 to murder his wife. Boom, inheritance. Henry, hotel mogul.
So at the very end of it, basically the 3 people that are sitting there, oldest son, the niece of the oldest son's daughter is there, the youngest son, and then the wife's husband are the 3 that show up. In the process of all of this, you find out that basically all of her children also planned to kill her at that exact same time. They just missed their opportunity and then got a phone call that their mom was murdered as well. As the daughters, like, of the one dude sitting there, because it's like, oh, older brother, younger brother were fist fighting in the office because that was meant to be their initial cover while one of them would later leave and go murder their mother because that was the one thing they agreed upon.
Imagine beating the shit out of each other just to find out 10 seconds later, we didn't have to do this. Someone murdered her. It's like, damn, got beat up for nothing.
Yeah. Imagine being such a shit parent that your husband and all three of your children are planning your murder at the exact same time. So that's kind of where it left off. Also, at one point, I had told Matt, like, in Discord, lately, Kodako has, like, been saying some real off-the-wall stuff. During their initial setup for why they have to go do this and to get her boyfriend on board, she's trying to, like, get from a claw machine those pins where you turn it upside down and there's a naked woman. She's trying to get that out of a claw machine, which is weird. And even at one point, she's like,
you act like this pen I should know about.
What, you haven't seen those pens?
No.
What, where you, like, turn it upside down and then the, like, thing, the colors change or, like, the image
What are
changes.
you looking at online?
Nothing. It's like it's a legitimate thing. Whatever. Apparently, you're uncultured.
You make it sound like it's a normal thing. Okay,
it is a normal thing.
You walk down to the Get and Go, and it's right there.
Typically, they are. And they're right next to the fake Viagra. But even at one point, when she's explaining why she's there, she talks about how part of the reason why she's there is because the hotel's really nice. They're putting her up at that hotel while these 2 days for them to make the decisions is happening. And she's really hoping, I don't have the exact quote, but her boyfriend cleans his fingers in her vagina is like damn near a literal line or word for word thing that happens on the screen. And
Your
then
Honor,
she
my
gets hit in
client-
the face with a pillow of him trying to shut her up.
My client would never say such things,
That's-
Your Honor, on there.
That is.
That is a personal attack, and you know it.
Yeah, okay.
But hey, speaking of attacks, Attack on Titan's back, baby. Let's go. So you didn't see that transition coming out, did you? You know other transition people didn't see coming? People turning into Titans and destroying the entire world from devastation.
No, everyone saw that coming.
Dude, okay, so we left off last season. The rumbling just started. Huge, like, 200-meter tall Titans, Justus, are just walking through the ocean, and the heat that they give off from their steam instantly, like, evaporates people when they activate it. So they're walking towards, like, this huge column of ships. I'm talking, like, D-Day level of ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shooting all the artillery shells at these Titans to get one or two. But then the entire, like, Northern Pacific fleet gets wiped out in a matter of, like, seconds. That's where the season left off. We come back this season, my dude. The Titans are walking over the land, right?
Yes.
They're attacking the city, and it's, like, this weird thing of, like, that kind of reminds you of what's going on. There's these kids that are, like, messing with, like, some coins and, like, money that they have. Like, this kid's basically been pickpocketing people, and you see his hands cut off. This is important to the story, and you're like, they're kind of demonstrating actions have consequences. And he's like, once I save him enough money, we can get out of here, or we need this money to buy food for the winter just to survive because they live on basically rations because they're reiterating how the world isn't perfect if you're like a different race in this country, how you're discriminated against. That's the whole reason Eren started the rumbling because everyone wanted to attack Paradise Island, which is where Attack on Titan starts. But soon after, this kid's like, why is the ground like vibrating on there? And then all these people are running up. They're like, we gotta get out of here. They're on their way. And you just see the whole horizon is filled with these huge Titans. They're just crushing everything under their feet. And I'm like, oh yeah, baby, we're back to Attack on Titan. People are getting smashed, squished. Literally, it's so gory in one scene where you see this kid like a Titan kicks a wall, right? A house that's like brick. It's set in like, you know, like I'd say like almost 1800s, like 1900s tech kind of thing where there are like cannons and guns.
Yeah.
All this debris goes flying, right? The two kids that are trying to run away, one kid gets completely smashed to bits, like blood everywhere. He's smashed in. And the kid that was trying to save the money that has his hand cut off gets pinned by a rock under one of his feet. And it's just a guttural scream. He's like, I need to get out of here. And a Titan goes to step on him. So it's like a slow-mo thing. Does a flashback to Eren apologizing to this kid when he was in the country before. Mm-hmm. He started the rumble. He's like, I'm sorry. Because Eren has this dilemma personally of, do I destroy this city? There's people there just like, there are people still in pain, but this, they won't attack us, but I got to destroy everyone to save the people I love. And then it cuts back to Titan, crushed face, blood everywhere. That's not even where it gets good. Attack on Titan's known for just killing people more than Game of Thrones. Like literally episode 2, like 300,000 people die. So it's kind of like a whatever. Like the original, like season 1.
I mean, if you didn't see it on screen, how could you really tell?
There was an on-screen thing. So they even mentioned like, 300,000 people died, blah, blah, maybe 200,000, something like that.
How would they be able to count?
Huge numbers.
What? They don't have calculators. They wouldn't know.
People can count without calculators, Justus.
You count.
They have those. They have those
abacuses.
Yeah. Easy. I mean, they sent out all these people, and no one came back. So it's like they're dead.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good count.
Ran away. It's 300,000 people started their own nation.
They're definitely dead. This is an island nation that they can't. Whatever. Besides that, so the saddest part, I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So one of the characters that's been from like episode 2. I think she shows up in episode 2 or episode 3. Hanj, I think is how you actually say her name. It's supposed to be like a German name, whatever. Zoe, I guess is her last name. Hanj Zoe or Hanj Zo. And she's like super in the Titans. Like she studied Titans her entire life. She's like into the biology. I'm like trying to figure out like what makes a Titan a Titan. And obviously since earlier seasons found out Titans are people, blah, blah, blah. They were trying to get out of the port because last season we were trying to get out of ports where we left off. Like, hey, we need to get this plane. We need to get it up and going. So that way when we get the plane, we can cut off Eren in the big rumbling attack and actually fight back and stop this mass world extermination. And there's probably only like 8 of them left at this point. So it's like 8 people trying to save the world from this one crazy man, right? They're in port and they're like, okay, we got just enough time to get the plane going. They get the plane. They're fueling it up. Flock comes in from last season, shoots at them, puts a hole in the fuel tank. They're like, oh, then Flock gets killed by Mikasa right away. So finally this asshole's dead. He's like the pro-Eren movement. So there's pro-Eren movement, like Federation movement, which are kind of the bad guys, kind of the good guys. And then there's the Paradise Island Freedom Unit. There's like 3 different factions, or 4 different factions, all kind of fighting. So all the factions have joined together minus the pro-Eren movement. They're like the real bad guys now. The big thing in this whole thing because it was an hour-long episode. One episode, whole hour long. It was literally not like 48 minutes. It was a whole 60 minutes. He puts a hole in the fuel tank, this experimental biplane that goes on the water. Like we need like an hour to like plug these holes. And then you feel everything is rumbling. It's like, what the hell is that? Titans are coming over the hill, like the big ones, and they move real slow. They're like dumb. The best part in it is like, you're always like, oh, I wonder if a Titan would ever slip down the hill. Titans are slipping down the hill because they're cresting hill. They're like, we need to delay them. And it gets to the whole thing like, Armin's like, I'll delay them. No, Armin, you have a special ability that basically nukes a city. Can't use you. Reiner's like, I'll stop him. No, Reiner, we need you to fight Eren. And then Levi's like, I'll stop them. And then Levi gets up, can't get up. It's like, Hanja's like, I'll go. And it's very emotional because he walks up. It's like, I forget exactly what he wrote, what he said on there. Yeah, so there's a thing where Commander Eren was like, give your heart. That's the thing. Like, give your heart, the sacrifice yourself for the greater good of humanity. It's been a season 1 thing. Every time Levi's like told one of his comrades, like, hey, give your heart, they almost never come back.
Yeah.
So he says that to Han. She's like, oh, I'll kill a whole bunch of them and I'll group back up with you. You know she's not coming back. There's too many Titans. She goes, takes out a whole bunch on there. Then she starts burning up from the flames. So as she's like on fire, she's still fighting the Titans, dies. They get away. And it's like, oh, fuck. That was one of my favorite characters on there. Then we move on. Sorry, there's more to it. I'll make it quick. They move on. Dude, it's so grand. So the rumbling crashes through the port city. Now it's moving inland, and all these people are trying to retreat. There's like trains moving full force, taking refugees. refugees get to a safe place. Like, we got to get to this experimental airship base. That's where our group is trying to get to too, because they have experimental planes that can like get onto Eren, because he's like this massive, like 2-mile long Titan. They need to get on him to stop him. You see, Attack on Titan does a very good thing of, wow, we're gonna make it. 2 seconds later, wow, we're fucked. The refugees get to the experimental place. Not a single plane. They're like blimps or zeppelins, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they left us to die. How could they? But they see the zeppelins flying away. They're like, oh, the assholes just leaving us die. No, the zeppelins are going, because they're like bomber zeppelins. They're mounting an offensive against Eren because they can drop tons and tons of bombs, like little tons of explosives. They're dropping bombs. You're like, yeah, they took Eren. I'm like, I don't remember reading it that way. Then Eren comes out from the fire. I'm like, yeah, that's right. He didn't die today. He fucks him up. Has like a Pikachu shock beam, takes out all the zeppelins, right? But then our boys come in to save the day.
And they die too.
They land on Eren's back. Well, one of our guys almost dies, but now that's where the episode left off. We're on Eren's back, getting ready to have a massive
Gonna
Titan
finish on
fight.
your homie's back.
Ugh. Dude, there's no way I can like there's so much that happened this episode. Like, Commander Erwin died. Levi was like, hey, give your heart. Levi was never in charge of the scout regiment. Like, that's the highest honors, like scout regiment, because you're in charge of killing Titans. So when Erwin, before he died, he promoted Hanj to the scout regiment leader. And she's about to die before they left the port. She promoted Armin, and that's when you're like, oh, she's not coming back. Like, this is it for that character. A character you've literally had since like episode 2, gone. Like a character you never really, like, even in the manga when you're reading, it's like, oh, I never expected her to like be the one that gets killed. I expected her to be one of the ones that like live. Yeah. So, but there was a whole thing with her in this like imaginary land where like everyone in Paradise Island, because they're all linked by Titan bloodline, can technically hear Eren and talk to him. There's basically like this giant tree. It's really hard to explain, but they have a whole conversation with Eren, and they're like, oh, maybe Eren wants us like pity kill him, because Eren can convert anyone in Paradise Island with Titan blood and turn him into a Titan at will. But he doesn't turn these guys into Titans because he wants everyone to have free will. So the citizens inside Paradise Island are technically still all alive. It's just the Titans holding up the walls have to go do the rumbling. So then Eren's like, you have free will. That's the whole point. What's everyone in Paradise Island have? Be free. Freedom. Braveheart bullshit.
So everyone in that island has Titan blood in them.
Correct,
that links to Eren.
Yeah, so
It's
Eren
just a
controls
big incestual.
Eren controls what's the founding Titan. So basically, every generation, the Titan powers have been the main. So there's like main Titans, and their power has been passed down through the Armstrong line through generations, somebody's line, and he just ended up with it. Like, his dad found out about it. That's why he never saw his dad after episode 1. He injected Eren with a serum to turn him into a Titan. Then Eren ate his dad, because once you get Titan powers, your lifespan is technically only 14 years. You have 14 years left. So his dad was at the tail end of it. Eren ate him, then got his dad's power. But then Eren had to eat someone else that had the actual founder Titan powers.
Okay.
It's really confusing on there. But basically, Paradise Island...
Dudes eating dudes.
Yeah, well,
Eating ass.
Eren is... Well, I think he actually ate a girl. No, but Eren is pro-Paradise Island by massacring the world, but the real pro-Paradise Island people are there to stop Eren and make a like written out contract. Like, Armin's trying to still talk it out with Eren, and Eren said in his speech, "You have to kill me to stop me." You did have a little like girly moment with Annie, because she was talking to Armin, and you can tell they're kind of in love. Armin's like, I was there talking to you for years, because she froze herself in ice. A whole bunch of background stuff. Like, you have to watch it to understand most of this.
That looks cringe.
Yeah, but Mikasa was like, no, Annie was like, Mikasa, you love Eren, don't you? She's like, Baka, kind of thing. And
Aren't they related?
what? Eren and Mikasa? Nope.
No,
Mikasa was adopted after Mikasa's parents were killed by burglars. Eren killed the burglars with his bare hands as a child, which is why Mikasa's in love with him, because he protected her.
So they're adopted.
That's why I'm surprised you haven't watched this.
I I'm surprised you give me so much shit when it seems like one of your all-time favorite shows also have this.
But it's not the main plot of the show, Justice. This has
It seems to become a full circle in the
titans,
end.
cannons, guns, death, massacre, genocide. It's everything Henry needs in a show. Not in real life, though.
Just need the Red Army and he's set.
I mean, there was kind of a moment of that, like, yo, mass wave tactic. Let's go, baby. No, but I mean, I don't know. Well, there's so much I can talk about it because there's so much that they bring up. Also, the music. Dude, the music was so good on there. But, yeah, speaking of music, NieR Automata's back, and the music's pretty good.
It's good.
Also, okay, NieR Automata has the weird thing right now with those two brothers.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but I don't think the other one calls him Adam. He calls him Eve, though, currently.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are you wearing underwear, brother? And, like, one of the top comments is like, so they don't have to censor it.
Yeah. In the next episode, or at the end of that episode, you can see that they're evolving further because then they're wearing pants.
Yeah.
And accessorizing with tattoos and
well, they
single
reiterate. Gloves. So in NieR, where we left off, so we skipped a week because there was nothing.
Well, it was a couple weeks.
Yeah. So there was nothing for a couple weeks. Now there's 3
weeks.
episodes. So this episode, like 4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah.
Just to let people know. You find out more that 2B, her original like configuration, she was very
Number
like
2.
Yeah, she was like, hey, we can win this if we try.
All subsequent like 2B or style models are based off of that original number 2 model.
Yeah.
So they have different personalities. That's just the same body because they're all
Yeah.
androids.
Well, now their memories are booted back into, because they point that out with 9S, how they keep uploading their memories so they can have it for the next time they're deployed.
Yeah.
But it's weird. So you find out background story of there was one time a really big battle, because you find out more of why is she not even on this main list here? I think it's Lily.
Yeah.
You find out more of her background story of she actually knew the original 2 model.
Yeah.
But she had a whole bunch of friends there too. All of them were robots, and they used to be able to get infected with like the robot virus, which was kind of cool to see that too. And if you play the games, you kind of know a lot of this stuff. So I'm trying not to spoil stuff that might pop up because I don't know what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do. But basically, they have to fight off 300,000 robots. They do it, but like the first bit about, okay, let's go in the battle. Immediately, like 3 of them get smoked off the bat, trying to protect Lily, because she's kind of like the child of the group, I guess.
Yeah.
They get into the factory, and then like, I'm not even gonna mention all their names. That one girl gets infected, then the other fighting gal stays behind, and it's like,
yeah. So
it's a whole bunch of self-sacrifice this episode. I'm like, wow, it's like, go get it, girls. But at the same time, it's like, wow, that sucks. Everyone's dying.
Yeah. Basically, Lily was the only one that made it out in the end.
Yeah.
And there was the 2 groups. Sorry, I feel like I have to sneeze. Sorry, I did have to sneeze. One group, all of their names are based off of flowers. And then the other group are the actual Yoroha. And
well, the thing is, you have 2. So you have 2 groups. You have the
also,
group that's been fighting
a very big woman.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to sub in while you sniffle over there.
Sorry.
There's the group that has been fighting on Earth that are actually all still robots, which kind of threw me off originally because I was like, I mean, you knew Lily was a robot before then. Because of her scratch. But then you have the Yorha agents that are coming down to help, and they're not being given assistance to like stop this mouse. I mean, they stopped like 300,000 potential robots.
Yeah, that was the one thing that threw me off in the end, where it's like, oh, everyone we've seen so far is an android.
Yeah, this is
we've
really...
never physically seen a real human yet.
No, the other people.
Huh?
The other actual humans on the planet?
No. They're all androids too.
I thought a few of them were actual people.
Everyone in the Resistance so far has all been androids.
Oh, I thought some of them were actual people.
No.
Oh.
Which is one of those like things that they don't acknowledge, but once you put it together where it's like, ah, shit, like literally the only humans are the ones that exist on the moon.
And that's if they exist.
Yeah.
The weird thing is they do mention in this show when we get back to episode 4, so 2B and 9S actually did die in that fight. Well, that model that you saw fighting, they learned a lot from the fight, but they found out like, oh yeah, it created another human, basically out of their ribs. So like the whole Adam and Eve thing, and it's like they do mention, is this the next wave of like development when it comes to it?
Yeah,
because you even see the robots getting like they're putting on plays. They were doing a Romeo and Juliet, and that one just straight up murdered the other, and it's like, oh, all right, we're just actually killing each other. Just keep doing the plays if you want. But it got really weird when they crucified like androids and their skin, and I'm like, it's just weird as hell.
The one thing that kind of took me out a little bit is when 2B and 9S entered the area, and then it locked behind them, and suddenly there was the shield, and it's like, oh, this is literally like you've entered the boss battle arena. And
that is literally one of the bosses in it. So that's why I was like, this is one from one. Like,
yeah, for me, it just felt like extra like video gamey and not like
anime kind of. But I mean, to be fair, I think they're trying it. I mean, they're doing it with other stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they just picked up that asset and put it in. Cause I'm like, that looks exactly like the game. Like rendering and coloring and all in there. But it was a lot of fun. I think even that episode, I wasn't a huge fan of that episode.
Yeah.
Just because it reminded me of the game. I think with Pascal, the robot that got turned good and created a robot non-violent society. Well,
town.
Yeah, a town where the robots don't really fight.
Reminds me of Stray.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was kind of cool seeing the whole background and like, the robots can get good. They are becoming intelligent. They just have to read more and more books, and they can adapt.
Yeah,
but obviously
she's struggling with the like. I'm supposed to murder all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, 9S is these whole couple episodes is like they can't have feelings. They can't develop like that, even though him himself has feelings and has developed to have kind of because he said emotions are off limits.
Yeah.
I think he's just jealous because they can have emotions.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time he goes into their consciousness, it's very video gamey because it's like, oh, here's the transition screen.
It's strange though, because with something like 9 or S, where they always say emotions are off limit. Clearly, no matter what, they do have emotions. I don't know if it's something that they can register normally, but clearly there's worry and specific stuff. Even when 2B is like yelling and going there to try to help. Otherwise, they wouldn't care.
Do you think he would cry?
Attempt to.
You think he would cry at the end of Automata?
Maybe. But
he would, his little bitch.
A great example is like, he clearly likes 2B, and
who doesn't? Smash.
Some of them stills.
Dude, at the end when it's like, here's the extremely lewd stills. There was a note I have. I was like, was that necessary? Thank you, but wasn't necessary.
The answer is yes.
That's disgusting. Where?
Yeah, and like, that conversation of 9S being like, when people get close to me, they call me nines, and like stuff like that, and 2B's like, no,
no,
and he's bummed about it.
So they do point out something important is, excuse me, A2. You see really weird off images of memories of her having a kid.
Yeah.
So apparently maybe they may be able to have kids. They lost track of her, but they know she's still out there because you see a scene at the end where she's just been massacring robots constantly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how the series is gonna end. Is it just gonna end like the game, or are we just gonna keep going?
It's kind of its own thing.
Every time you watch an anime, there's a different ending. You gotta watch the anime 54 times to get every single possible ending.
One of the things that they do even kind of show that is the big thing that kind of like continues to be the struggling factor is those on the moon do not give any levels of shit to help send reinforcements. The actual commander has consistently just had to be like grit teeth and watch people die instead of
think about it this way. It's been thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
They're making them faster than you can destroy them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of evolving to a state where they'll probably just kill themselves. I mean, they already are kind of killing themselves, but they've now readapted into like somewhat of a human life that can do whatever. So, I mean, I don't want to say too much because I don't know if they're going to go one way or another with this whole.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they're going to go with it. Overall, the concept is interesting. Like, I've never played the game.
It's all right.
I do think a little bit of the, like, puppet stuff at the end. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's like...
Well, sometimes it's wood puppets, or just paper cutouts, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I like the little end kind of...
Yeah, every so often, and there's just that moment where it's like, man, I could have had like 2 more episodes or 2 more minutes. And it's like, if there's X amount of episodes, that's an entire episode that we're missing out because you guys puppeted.
Well, that means they have to put more. I mean, based on the pacing they're having it, I think they're going to barely kind of squeeze out what they need.
Yeah. Who knows how long they're going to continue it. There's not even official count for like where they're ending.
So there we were 10 seasons later. So,
yeah, 300 episodes later.
We're looking for the One Piece. Excuse you? Yeah, but she's a kind of a gotcha episode.
Yeah. But that's about it. NieR's good. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's all I got for this
Attack
week.
on Titan is lame.
Attack on Titan's number 1 on my anime list. You are wrong, and it is one of the best shows. Rest in peace, Han.
I'm so glad a lot of people circle jerk.
Says the Fruits Basket Boy. All right, bye.